Hey, what's happening? Disney Racing, the Guy01, and welcome to this week's versus episode on the Walkthrough channel. This week, it's Eddie Guerrero versus Dominik Mysterio. And if you've been watching really just Raw the past few weeks, you'll know what this is about. So we only had one birthday this past week. It was Bobby Lashley's birthday on July 16th. He turned 48. Crazy to think that Bobby Lashley is almost 50, but there you go. Alright, come on, focus.
We are in for a treat tonight.
Focus.
The cocky young cruiserweight.
There you go.
Former ECW star who has had unmatched success in WCW.
It's funny how the commentators talk about WCW Eddie Guerrero, you know, in the time period, so they don't acknowledge anything that happened post WCW. They talk about him as if it's still 1997.
Byron, it's almost intimidating to think of how highly skilled Eddie Guerrero already is this early in his career. Yeah, you're right, Corey. Exceptional aerial skills, but also pretty amazing when it comes to skirting the rule book.
Alright, so let's get to why we're doing this to begin with. So, start kicking off Raw. Raw began with Rhea Ripley coming out to make her first, public, not public appearance, but promo since returning last week. Didn't take long for Dominik Mysterio to then come out and try to explain his situation and basically apologize to Rhea for everything going on with him and Liv while she was gone. Rhea was not having any of it. It didn't help matters much when Liv Morgan then appeared on the Titantron and began taunting Rhea Ripley further. This then led to Rhea Ripley challenging Liv Morgan for a match at SummerSlam for the WWE Women's title, which Liv Morgan accepted. And yeah, so they're really pushing, they're really doing a lot of callbacks to the Eddie Guerrero China storyline with Dominik and Rhea now. I mean, now there were hints of it earlier, but now they're really going all out with it, and they're really pushing those parallels. Also, it's funny to think how long when you see Dominik Mysterio's character model in this, you realize just how both old this game is now and how already outdated it is, and also how quickly Dominik has changed in like a year's time. So that's really the main reason I'm doing Eddie versus Dominik, because they're really pushing that Eddie and China parallel with him and Rhea. They're really pushing it. But it's a great, callback to that storyline. And, there's no two better people to do that, do a callback to that storyline with than Dominik and Rhea. Oh, they don't.
Rising star continues to become more confident with every match. And he'll be dealing with the fiery high flyer Eddie Guerrero. This superstar has lots of potential.
This then moved on, continuing with Raw. Sheamus beat Bronson Reed. After the match, Pete Dunne then came out and attacked Bronson Reed, seemingly to protect his former Brawling Brute partner Sheamus from getting attacked. But then he attacked Sheamus, and ended up taking him out. Which then, so not really sure why he attacked Bronson Reed, just to attack Sheamus. I guess he wanted to be the one to attack Sheamus. Okay, why not? Not really sure how to feel about that. I mean, Sheamus versus Pete Dunne, that could be real fun, some real fun matches. It just kind of felt like it came out of nowhere. I mean, they teased it a little bit last week with Dunne refusing to shake Sheamus' hand and, seemingly wanting nothing to do with him since Sheamus returned. But it seems weird to just have him, attack him. So maybe we'll get some further explanation for the reasoning behind it and get something out of it, instead of just, one segment where Pete attacks him after a match that he won. Alright, my turn. That's how you do it. Ow. Continuing with SmackDown, Sonya Deville beat Zelina Vega. After the match, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark came out and continued to beat up on Zelina Vega, which then led to Kaden Charnick and Tana Chance coming in to make the save. And we've got our new 3-on-3 women's rivalry that will last for the next couple months. It always seems like there's like always one of those going on where they just get like two teams of like 3 random women wrestlers and just have them feud for like a couple weeks. And it never really goes anywhere. So, I don't know. We'll see where they go with this one. I'm checking my notes. I think I actually missed something. No, I don't think I did actually. Ow. Damian Priest beat Braun Strowman clean. There were some, some hijinks, but I mean, he did it really without any physical interference. He beat him clean, which is, something Damian Priest really needs. He needs to beat someone who's legitimate at like Braun, to even, be considered as a threat to Gunther for their SummerSlam match. Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler then beat Chance and Carter in a match that was set up from that encounter earlier in the show. Drew McIntyre confronted Adam Pearce about his indefinite suspension. Adam Pearce basically said, "I'll lift the suspension if you apologize," and Drew's like, "No." And then he basically threatened to get physical with Adam Pearce, which then led to Seth Rollins coming down, taking out Drew and making the save. So it's weird to include Seth in this, I feel like, because, I mean, it seems very obvious that this is, just the next step in the CM Punk Drew McIntyre match, which we can only assume is happening at SummerSlam. I mean, I still can't remember if that match has been confirmed. I mean, we've had Punk, say a couple weeks ago now that he's on course to be medically cleared by SummerSlam time. But, with the inclusion of Seth, it almost makes you wonder, he might not make that deadline, and they might be including Seth to, serve as an alternative to Punk, if Punk isn't cleared in time for SummerSlam, which I don't see that going over well, mainly just because of how much we've seen Seth and Drew feud this year already, and people are just want to see the Punk and Drew match now. They're tired of waiting for it, they just want to see it already. So, postponing it again is just, I don't see that going over well, if they even do that. We then got our latest promo from the Wyatt Six. This one did not feature Bo Dallas, so this one highlighted Eric Rowan, who cut, again, a really good promo. Talking about the passing of Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper, aka Brody Lee. Talking about all the loss he's faced the past couple years. And just really good promos. I mean, this whole Wyatt Six thing has really allowed guys like Bo Dallas and Eric Rowan to really show off their talking chops. I mean, both of them are delivering the best performances on the mic of their careers. And it's coming from a real place, that's when wrestling is at its best, when it comes from something real, especially the promos. Ow. Hey, get off me. Jey Uso faced Dominik Mysterio. Liv Morgan tried to interfere in order to help Dominik. This then led to Rhea Ripley coming out and chasing off Liv. Jey Uso was then able to use the distraction to beat Dominik Mysterio, which then led to more issues between Rhea and Dominik. Poor Dominik, he's caught in the middle of something that he does not want to be caught in the middle of. Poor guy. Man, his life must be so hard having Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley fight over him. Although with that said, it looks like Rhea's not really fighting. She doesn't really seem to be wanting to fight for him. She almost seems like she's ready to beat the crap out of him herself. Chad Gable called out Bo Dallas, who then came out to confront him. This then led to the Creed brothers coming out and attacking Bo Dallas along with Chad Gable. Bo Dallas didn't seem to mind it too much, and then the Wyatt Six, the other members of the Wyatt Six, then came out and chased off Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. So if this is going to be the first match of the Wyatt Six, a like 6-man tag, we'll see who they end up going with to be, you know, the 3 members of the Wyatt Six. But against Chad Gable and the Creed brothers, that could be a real fun match. And there were some rumors going around, you know, for a few weeks at this point, that Chad Gable and the Creed brothers would be teaming up soon and basically forming a new Team Angle. So if this is how they're introduced, I can see this leading to some real fun matches. Unfortunately, I do see them losing if they do end up having a match against the Wyatt Six, just because the Wyatt Six are such a new team, and you can tell there's a lot of focus on trying to make them look as dangerous as possible. So I don't see them losing in their first official match. So probably not a great introduction for this new, you know, Team Angle stable, or Team Angle-like cable. Did I just say cable? Stable. But, you know, I don't think they're going to get hurt. Their momentum's not going to get hurt too much from losing to, you know, this like supernatural, unbeatable force of nature of a group. So they'll probably be fine. And in the main event, Sami Zayn faced Dragunov for the Intercontinental Championship. The match ended with Bronson Reed attacking both Sami Zayn and Dragunov to cause a disqualification, which allowed Sami Zayn to retain the title. Not the best ending for this match, and it felt, you know, the match leading up to it was really good. A very good match between them, and probably a one-on-one match that WWE will want to go back to, you know, and actually have a clean finish for. I get that they're trying to, you know, keep Bronson Reed in the Intercontinental title picture, which makes sense. But I feel like there was a way you could have done this differently. Especially if this is not like a one-on-one match you're going to go back to anytime soon. If they do go back to it, which they should definitely let it play out and, you know, have a clean finish. But you know what? A 3-way match at SummerSlam between Zayn, Dragunov, and Reed, that can be real fun. Moving on to SmackDown, weren't really a ton of matches on SmackDown. Andrade Cien Almas beat Carmelo Hayes. Bianca Belair beat Chelsea Green in what was pretty much a squash match. I think the match itself only lasted like a couple minutes at most. Mia Yim faced Tiffany Stratton. Bayley then came out and attacked Nia Jax, which distracted Tiffany Stratton and allowed Mia Yim to get the win. And in the main event, main event already. Like I said, not really a lot of matches. Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens beat Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. They didn't get to celebrate for long though, because Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline then came out and beat the crap out of both of them. They did kind of like a repeat of the spot from last week, where they forced Cody Rhodes to watch as they beat up one of his friends. This week it was Kevin Owens who got his head repeatedly smashed in by Jacob Fatu, doing the running like hip attack into the corner. They then ended it by putting Cody Rhodes through the announce table and then wrapping a steel chair around Kevin Owens' head and ramming him into the ring post to close out the show. So once again, a lot of focus being put on, you know, making this new bloodline look as dominant as possible and really trying to establish them as like a force to be reckoned with. And I do think it's working. I mean, they're beating the crap out of like all the top guys. I mean, Cody, Owens, Orton, really anyone who steps up to them, they just take out with ease. I mean, they took out DIY last week, like it was nothing. So they're definitely really pushing how dangerous these guys are. And that wraps up Raw and SmackDown this week. Once again, just really building up to SummerSlam. We got a couple more matches confirmed. We now officially know Rhea versus Liv is happening for the title. Logan Paul and LA Knight signed their United States title contract on SmackDown. Nothing really of note happened on that. It's your basic contract signing segment. Let's just hope Knight wins the big one here. And seemingly another tease for Intercontinental title match as well, but with a potential triple threat. So some interesting stuff. So we now know who both the world champions will be facing: the men's world champions, the women's world champions. We know the U.S. title match. We have an idea for the Intercontinental title match. Don't really know anything about the tag team titles, either both the men's and women's. I don't really know if anything about that has been said or confirmed for SummerSlam yet. But it'll be an interesting show, and it's going to be a show where a lot of things are going to be genuinely unpredictable in what direction WWE decides to go with. Most notably the Damian Priest versus Gunther World title match. I think that's going to be really interesting to see what way they go with that. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and make it visit other time. Stay tuned for next week's Versus, and next week where we continue and I believe finish our LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham walkthrough. Hope you guys enjoyed. Guy01 and Eddie Guerrero signing out. Bye guys.